Hmm. Namaste, dear sisters and brothers. I have quite an important topic that I would like to discuss today that I feel needs to be addressed. And it is respecting and honoring the feminine beings on this planet. This morning, I had a video phone call with a very dear friend of mine that I just happened to do work with as well. And a little background on her. She is a goddess and tantric healer for the feminine. She holds a lot of space for the feminine beings on this planet to do certain work so that they may heal their feminine goddess energy, because they are goddesses. And I don't take that term or use that term lightly at all. Just as we are gods as men, they are goddesses. We are all gods and goddesses on this planet. Whether you agree with me or not, that's just how it is. So this morning I was having a deep conversation with my friend about the particular work that we have been doing together. She is also a client of mine because of the work that I do. The work that I do is perineum, breathwork, meditation. And some call it pranic breathing, kundalini breathing. And that's basically what it is, but it involves also a meditation practice that focuses on healing the body, the emotions, and the mind by clearing energies and moving energies that are blocked and stuck in the body. It's a practice that I take very seriously and I hold very, very sacred to my heart and to the feminine and to the masculine, because I also work with the men. This is not work just for the feminine. And I do this work because it's a practice that I've been doing for a while. And it's one of the practices that helps me stay very, very grounded and connected to Mother Earth, to Mama Gaia. Mama Gaia helps me to work with a lot of energy. I'm very deeply connected to her in a lot of ways. And she provides me with this human body, with food, with water, with everything that I need to survive as a human being. She is my provider. She is my mother. She is a female, feminine energy, Mama Gaia. And so with being so connected to her, I, as a masculine, am in very, very close, deep touch with my feminine, because I have worked closely with this planet for many, many years. Even as a young child, I've been very connected to this planet. I've always had that energy in me. Being a triple water sign in the zodiacs, I am very connected to the water as well. And I am a very sensitive, emotional, strong creature with a lot of fire in my charts as well. So I'm also very passionate and fiery when it comes time to be. And this morning I got a little fired up. And it's evening time here now, because I've been processing and thinking about and meditating on this all day long. I didn't want to talk about it while I was charged and fired up. But what I'm going to talk about today is something that I feel is incredibly important to address. And my dear friend asked me if I would put it on video. And I said yes. I addressed it with her this morning. We had a good long talk about it. I helped her processed the energy that she was basically attacked and bombarded with from the masculine. I held space for her as a brother in sacred space. I held a safe container for her to express herself and to be seen and heard as a feminine being who needs to speak up and say what she has to say without the masculine trying to suppress her. So this morning, we were having a deep discussion about the work that we've been doing and what she's been doing. And she's doing a lot of other practices with the feminine and holding space for others and working in groups with other women around the world that are doing some very, very deep tantric healing right now, because it's time. It's time for the feminine to be healed. For hundreds of years on this planet, the masculine has suppressed the feminine, and the feminine has been told to basically be put in their place, to shut up, that they don't have a voice, and that they need to take their rightful place as women and do certain things. Well, the time's over. It's over. It's done. It's very, very obvious what's happening on this planet right now. It's very obvious that the women of this world are fed up with it. They're done with it. They're tired, very, very tired. And basically have just reached a point where they're not going to tolerate it anymore. They're not going to tolerate being bullied and pushed around by the masculine that think that they are the dominant human beings on this planet. So there's a lot of feminine beings that are stepping up into their power, their rightful place to be feminine beings, and as connected to Gaia as they are. They're very in touch with the planet, and they see what's going on with this planet right now, and Mama Gaia, Mother Earth, healing herself, and they're stepping into that power. And there's a lot of men that are being witnessed and observed that don't like what's going on. They haven't. And if you've been watching closely for the last 20, 30 years, especially over the last 10 to 5 years, there's been some very powerful women that are stepping up, speaking their truth. Excuse me. It's very hot in here. I live in a jungle in Bali, Indonesia, by the way. It's very humid, so if I have to wipe my sweat, forgive me. So the feminine are speaking up, and they're doing it as they should, because they deserve to. They have a voice. They are human beings, just like we as masculine are. You know, I want to address this because of the work that I do with men and women about healing certain energies that are in their body. And what I've noticed working with this particular person, my friend, who is very in touch with her energies and her body, and has had a lot of trauma experiences in the past with the masculine, being indoctrinated by a particular religion, and basically being told what to do, how to do it by the masculine. Well, she's stepping into her power, and she's just not doing it anymore. But she's also got a lot of fear around that because of what's happened to her in the past. She's got body trauma and a little bit of emotional and mental trauma as well because of it. And what I'm doing with her, the work that I'm doing with her, is a very deep practice called the perineum breathwork meditation. It's a practice that I've developed that allows people to really, truly open themselves up from their root chakra to the crown chakra, to move energy, to connect with Mama Gaia, to bring in that power, that life force energy from Mama Gaia, to connect with the breath and to open up all of the channels, all of the chakras. And in doing so, with this work, which I hold very, very dear to my heart and very sacred, it is not a sexual practice. It is a very powerful practice, yes. Does it involve a little bit of raw primal sexual energy? Yes, it does. But that is simply a human energy. It is just part of who we are. It's our innate energy that is within us. We have creation energy within us. It comes from our life force. So when we do this work, this practice, it starts to move around a lot of energies, and it starts to clear energy blocks and channels. And the channel and the energy center that has been blocked with my friend and client is her throat chakra. She's been having trouble speaking or saying what she wants to say because she's afraid to say it, because of the suppression by the masculine that she's experienced in her life. And she's a 40-year-old woman with 3 kids. She's done. She's done with it. She's not going to do it anymore because she sees what's going on. She's connected with this planet, and she knows that there is a very big shift of energy taking place. And she, as an individual, I am honored to watch and witness her step up and to speak her truth. And the work that we've been doing together, the practice that we've been doing with her, I've been taking her on these guided meditations with the breath work, and it's moving a lot of energy within her. And what we've been working on is her throat chakra, mainly because of her trauma that she's experienced in the past from the masculine. And the thing that I find really fascinating is when we start talking about certain things in our discussions, her and I, it's almost like the universe knows. And I swear to gosh, the universe knows, Mama Gaia knows that she's ready to receive particular energies into her field that need to be addressed and discussed. And at these amazing times in our discussions over the last week, she's had these incoming messages come into her inbox from the masculine at the precise time that we were discussing that particular energy that she's working on. This morning, she received a message on Facebook from a man, a male. I don't even want to call him a man because of what he did. A male energy, masculine energy, that I have to say was it was the most appalling, disgusting, suppressive, patriarchal, dominant messages that I have ever read in my entire life. She didn't even want to share it with me, but she knew because of who we are as friends and because of the work that we do together. And she trusts me as a brother to hold space for her, a safe space, a safe container, so that she can express herself fully and completely. And she does that, and it's beautiful to witness. And so she shared this message with me this morning because she wanted me to help her understand what was going on, the energy that was coming from this message. So she shared this message with me. And I read it. And I had to read it twice to make sure that I was actually reading what I was reading, because it was so completely over the top and out of alignment that I could barely believe what I was reading. I'm not going to go into too much detail about it, but what I will say is this man, this male energy, who displays himself in the social world as a tantric sexual healer. I don't know this individual. I don't know who he is. I don't care to. She's only talked to this person once. But because of the work that she does and what she expresses on Facebook and social media to her people, to her followers, this man decided that she was an open channel for him to direct his energy at her. Not with her, but at her. She did not ask for it. She did not welcome it. She didn't ask for his opinion. She didn't ask for his help. He just sent her a message. Just like somebody sending a random dick pic to a female, but much worse. This message basically said to her, I see the work you're doing and it's beautiful, and you're opening up your vagina and your sexual female energy to receive daddy, to receive the cock that you deserve in your mouth, in your pussy, in your being. And I want to fill up every crevice of you and watch you swallow me and be on your knees and submit to me. And I mean, it goes on and on and on. I'm just going to stop right there, because what was just said beyond that is even worse. So you get the feel of what this individual was saying to her. It was not welcome. She did not in any way invite that into her field in any way, shape, or form. She simply does the work that she does, and she speaks her truth. And by doing that, this individual felt that he had the right to send her this message, basically calling himself daddy multiple times in the message, saying, come and get your daddy, or I'll come and get you, and I'll teach you a thing or two, and I will have you down on your knees, and just went on and on about what he felt like she should do and take her rightful place on her knees. It was the most vulgar, disgusting. I'm almost at a loss for words to even speak about it, because I have been on this planet for 51 years. I've seen a lot of things. I've heard a lot of things, but I have never in my life seen such a display of vulgar, male, dominant, patriarchal energy being directed at one person without permission. Even with permission, that is just uncalled for, unless a female asks for that, and then that's her rightful place to experience that if that's what she wants. But I don't think any woman would ask for what I read this morning. So I'm calling you out, gentlemen, men. This energy, and I know that a lot of you have some incredible, deep respect for the women, for the masculine, for the feminine, and that you understand how important women are, that they have a voice, that they are human beings, that they are like us. They just happen to be feminine. We're masculine. We do not own them. We do not control them. We do not have dominance over them. By no means should we display that type of energy towards the feminine. It's been happening on this planet for hundreds of years. It shows up in politics. It shows up in our government. It shows up in business. It shows up in the movies, in the books, in the media. It's a very, very strong patriarchal energy in this planet. Has been for a long time. We all know it. There's no denying it. It's just what's happened in this world. And it's coming to an end very quickly. And I think there's a lot of us out there that realize that it is. And there's some that don't like it. And those being the masculine. There's a few of them out there that still want to impose themselves and their energy upon the feminine. Brothers, man to man, I'm calling you out. It's got to stop. It's over. We are done with that energy. It is not acceptable. It never has been, and it never will be. And I'm asking you, gentlemen, men, masculine beings, to really take a deep look at yourself and ask yourself, do I display that type of energy towards the feminine in any way, shape, or form? And be very honest with yourself. Look yourself in the mirror and have this discussion. If you do, please address it. Please do some work. Talk to somebody. I don't care who. But you need to clear this energy. We all do. And I know that at some point in our lives, most of the masculine beings on this planet have been a part of that energy. Whether it was taught to us by our grandfathers, by our fathers, by society, by our governments, we've all witnessed it. It's part of our world, has been for a long time. It's almost instilled upon us and brainwashed into us and programmed into us. It's what we're conditioned with. We've been conditioned to accept that type of behavior for a very long time. It's over. It's done. It's got to stop. That dominant, patriarchal, masculine, suppressive energy towards the females, to the feminine, to our planet, it's destroyed so many lives, so many different things on this planet. We've raped this world, this planet, of its resources for our greed, for our power. It's got to stop. It's 2020. I mean, come on. We're in another era. Like, we should know better than this by now. And what I witnessed this morning shows me very clearly that we still have some work to do. And I'm glad it's coming up, to be honest. I'm very happy to see that it is being exposed in some very big ways, whether it's through messages coming to individuals through Facebook, text message, whatever social media platform that you have. It's being displayed through there. It's being displayed in the media. It's being displayed in our governments, in war, in control, in greed, in dominance. That time, that energy is coming to a close very, very quickly. I'm honored to be doing the work that I'm doing with the masculine and the feminine. And I am deeply honored to be holding space for the feminine so they can do the work and feel held in a safe space by a brother that has respect, honor, and integrity for the feminine. I've done my work. I've done my practices. I do every single day. I connect with this planet, Mama Gaia. I connect with the feminine. I have discussions with feminine. I talk to them. I hold space for them. Most of my clients are females. Why? Because they're the ones that are the most injured. And when I say injured, I mean emotionally injured or even physically injured, raped, abused, beaten, traumatized. I take this work very, very seriously. It's a very, very sacred work and practice, what I do. And I love holding space for the feminine so they can do their healing, so they can stand up, so they can step forth, so they can speak their truth in their voice and be heard and feel safe and trusted. And I'm not saying I'm special. I've just done the work. I've spent the last 13 years working on my shit. Yeah, I was a crazy young wild kid, just like most of us were. But I've done the work. And I've reached a space where I can hold space for the feminine with honor and respect. And I'm asking you, gentlemen, men, masculine to please do the same. If there's any doubt in your mind, if there's any question that you have displayed that energy or you have that kind of energy in you, please address it. We got to change things on this planet. We've been raping this planet of its resources. We've been raping the women. We've been destroying the lives and countries and families, humanity, for what? Control, power, greed, dominance, what we think are sexual desires. All that stuff is just unhealed trauma and wounding that we experienced growing up. That's the pattern. It's what I see in everybody that I work with, the males and the females. It's unhealed trauma, and it shows up in some very destructive and damaging ways. It's time to do the work, gentlemen. I'm not saying that I'm your guy. I may be able to work with you if you want. There's plenty of other men out there who are stepping up and holding this space as well. And I have a huge, huge amount of respect for those men. There are some beautiful men on this planet that I know that are doing some incredibly profound work, whether it's tantric healing, coaching, guiding, counseling, somatic sexual work, healing traumas. There's some beautiful men on this planet doing some incredibly beautiful things. And I honor you deeply for stepping into that space and not abusing your power, but simply holding space for others to do the healing, whether it's the feminine or the masculine. Thank you to those men. And thank you to the men who are displaying their energies in that form that is unacceptable, because it's just exposing our stuff. What's going on in this planet right now is bringing up everybody's stuff. It's bringing up our shit. It's bringing up our traumas. It's exposing everything that needs to be healed. We're in a different time, in a different age. I'm not going to put any labels on anything, call it anything. I mean, it's the year 2020. We have reached a level of understanding, wisdom, and technology that I could have never imagined would ever. I mean, who knew we'd be here now experiencing what we're experiencing? Being able to do this, talk to face on video. So I'm using this platform that I have to speak to this topic. And I'm going to ask that we all respect one another, that we honor one another with integrity, and that we hold space and we hold each other accountable. We hold safe containers for people to be heard, to speak their truth, so they can heal any unhealed traumas they may have. So we can balance the masculine and the feminine energies, that yin-yang energy, that divine connection between the masculine and the feminine. It's already happening. It's very, very obvious that it's already happening. I'm just asking that we please step into that space, that we all look at ourselves, that we all do the work, regardless of what it is. Find somebody to work with if you have anything you feel that may be a topic that needs to be addressed. Ask your friends, ask your family, ask a counselor, a coach, a guide, a tantric worker, whoever it may be. There's individuals out there who have the ability that we take a very deep look at the individuals who are doing these tantric practices and work. Reclaiming yourself to be a tantric healer, and then exposing yourself to be a tantric healer and then exposing yourself in that display of energy or taking advantage of power because of the work that you're doing. It's got to stop. That time has come to an end. We need to come together as masculine and feminine, and we need to heal each other. We need to be in balance, because if we're out of balance, it's just going to continue. The world as we knew it before this whole virus, pandemic, whatever you want to call it, before that happened, we were so far out of balance that our climate was suffering to a great degree. There's been a lot of weather pattern changes and all sorts of things that are happening on this planet for many different reasons. And the planet knows it. The planet is a living, sentient being, and she is incredibly wise. And if we keep acting like cancer cells on this planet, she will take us out. And if we keep acting like cancer cells on this planet, she will take us out. It's happened before. It'll happen again. We need to. It's happened before. It'll happen again. We need to do the work. We need to do the healing. We need to come together in balance and hold space for each other. Feminine, I'm going to speak to you on this a little bit as well, because there are some feminine individuals. Speak to you on this a little bit as well, because there are some feminine individuals that have been hurt by the masculine and are stepping into their places of power. And unfortunately, some of them are taking vengeance because of resentment or hurt that they may have, or traumas that they may have. And so they're seeking out to destroy the masculine. That doesn't work either. That's destructive energy. That is not in balance. That is not in alignment. So I'm calling you out too. I've called myself out. I've done the work. I've asked for help. I've found it. I got it. And I practice. I work on myself every day just to make sure that I maintain a very safe space within myself. So I'm in balance. So I'm grounded. So I honor both the masculine and the feminine. Please, feminine, don't take revenge. Don't be vengeful. Don't seek out justice because you've been hurt by the masculine. That does not solve anything. It only makes things worse. An eye for an eye only makes the whole world blind. We need to come together. We need to work together. We need to hold space. Only makes the whole world blind. We need to come together. We need to work together. We need to hold space. To be where I'm at, doing what I'm doing the work that I'm doing, and holding space. And I'm honored to be able to be here with you, sharing my message, coming from a place of love, honor, respect, and integrity. In fact, I had it tattooed on my forearms. So it's a daily reminder for me that I stand in this Namaste. I see the divine in you as I see the divine in me, in honor and integrity, respect for each other. I respect you as brothers and sisters. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. I love you unconditionally. In Lakesh, Alakan. Namaste.